Lilith in the fifth house or in Leo. We talk the night master in the house of fun, creativity, joy, kids, teaching kids, and being childish, listen to your heart. So when Lilith is in this house, the night master, terrified, and you go through pain instead of fun. Your joy will be pain that you go through. That dealing with your father. Your father, you could be mad about your father not being in your life because this masculine energy, or your father could have abandoned you, or you might don't like the dominant nature. If it's not your father, you don't like the dominant nature because you're afraid of those who are dominant, so you protect yourself or defend yourself. So this house is very powerful because when you got lit up in the fifth house or in Leo, the lion. Because you gotta understand, Leo about fun. Leo about inspiration and motivation. So the way you might aspire is in a negative way, motivate in a negative way. Also, this could be a place where in your unconsciousness you could be jealous for no reason because you don't want nobody to take your shine, or you might be afraid to put your uh, creative skills out there, or you might want some attention, but afraid to get in the spotlight because this your hitting emotion. But on the upside, you're a natural leader. Natural leader, you're strong, and you don't care what nobody think. But when the night master get to you, this is your side to where you do be afraid of somebody achieving more than you or getting more shine than you, or you feel rejected if people don't approve of you and things of that nature. So you got lit up in the fifth house or Leo. You always want some type of praise or some type of people to adore you. But since lit up here, you might want to shine. You might want to be out in the public. You might want to have fun, but you might be afraid of it. You might be afraid to express yourself. It's also when it comes to sex, the way you have sex is like fun loving, in a theatric way. All you want to do, uh, you got many ways to perform, but you might lack it at the same time. You might don't want to have sex. You might be afraid of kids. You might be afraid to have kids, or you might want to have kids, but you might be worried about not being good enough to take care of your kids. So this one you got Lilith and Leo. So this is all about love. But since Lilith here, your love can turn to you being self-destructive. You being self-destructive, and your partner that you pick or choose don't appreciate you. You pick partners that's not for you. You pick partners that don't appreciate you. They're selfish and they're not available for you emotionally. And can't you can't tell the difference between true love and love that's not true, and love that's so dramatic. So you might pick a dramatic relationship until later on in your life till you learn, and it will take you some time to experience a true relationship and sex in a healthy way instead of a bad way when you're dealing with toxic people. When it comes to the women, they might have abortion or problems with their pregnancy and things of that nature. Your intuition is very strong, but if you don't listen to your heart and you don't follow your heart because you're a natural leader and you follow somebody else, you'll see why you're failing. You want to express yourself. You want to follow your heart. Sometimes you feel like it won't be good enough for people, or you might don't have that self-esteem to trust your heart. You might have low self-esteem. So this means that you could have a rebellious nature. Because naturally, a Leo is about life. But since you got the black moon here, the night master can make you a rebellious nature. You know what I mean? Also, this means that you could be very selfish and arrogant. It's all about you, and on a down low, hate because you're not getting your attention and this and things of that nature. So the thing is also is that you might have a very strong ego on the low. You know what I mean? You might act like you arrogance, but you got to face your shadow side. You got to face what's in your unconscious. This is what you do naturally, unconsciously, without being aware. So you got to put that in check and replace some good concepts to develop your subconscious so it can become naturally upon you. So with this placement here, you definitely believe that you are a high achiever. You got it in you, but sometimes you might be afraid to do it. then you might don't be afraid to do it. And but you got to understand that love and admiration, you got to love yourself first, will help you. And you got to love will help you. And admire yourself first. You know what I mean? And be that leader you're supposed to be. And everything will fall in place without being so egotistic or having so much pride. And this also, like I said, this can deal with your father being very dominant and very abusive and not being there in your life. You know what I mean? But what you gotta understand is that if you love yourself, you'll be okay. Because your father might feel, or some way you might feel, that love had to be earned in your life because it was never there, or you might feel like your father or a dominant male figure didn't love you, or men didn't love you, and things of that nature. When it comes to the men, you might don't be the good father you put to be to your kids. You might be so dominant and dictating to your kids, and you might don't show the love you put to show to your kids if you have any. But also you could be the type who don't have kids because you got Leo here, and it's deal with high sex drive. So the dark side might don't want no kids, and the night monster come out. So with this being said, you might be the type to have fun in a dark way. You know what I'm saying? Your fun is different. Your fun might be stirring up stuff, or you might be, or if you're not stirring up stuff, you might just love others who stir up stuff. Being those who into drama. But the thing is, you expect everyone to treat you like you're royal, like you're royal king or queen, and this is how you expect people to treat you. Also, you want everybody to adore you on the low, but you'll say, "I don't care nothing about people adoring me or admire me." When in actuality, you do. It's in your soul. You want to be recognized. You might tell your partner, "Do you hear what I got to say?" And you might have told your partner before, and they heard you, but you might keep repeating it because you want them to admire you. And they probably do admire you, but you go overboard with it to make sure that they appreciate you. So this is what this deals with, you know what I'm saying? Because you love to shine. And it's either that you're very popular or you're not popular because you might be afraid to be popular. And that what this deals with. You're very charming, charismatic, got a nice style, elegance about who you are. And actually you happy, go loving, but on the dark side, you can be very cold and very dark. When I say dark, I'm talking about on the downside, you could be the opposite, complete opposite. But also you could be obsessed about status, about being somebody, about moving up. And if you don't get that success, you might don't feel like life. You might don't feel like living. Because Leo's about life. And so you got to have a cause, something to do. And you might be the type that be very proud. It's always I against the world, me against the world type of thing. And when you're in a relationship, it's all about you, I, instead of you and your partner. So you could be a narcissist type also, instead of saying we. You know what I mean? And another thing about this place when you got Lilith and Leo is that you can have like a don't care attitude. You might not even care about your partner, or you might not care about anything. But at the same time, you can develop and be great because you got great inner wisdom. If you listen to your heart more and your soul more, because Leo rule over the heart and the soul. So, and you'll do good if you crack a lot of jokes, you play a little bit, and you be happy. But you could have problem with your heart and your eyesight and things of that nature. So watch out for that. And you could be stuck up and all arrogance and conceited like. And so, or you could be against being stuck up. You might like that. You might feel, you might don't like people who stuck up or arrogant. You might don't like people who selfish. And you might, cause trouble to them instead of accepting people for who they are. So you are the heart. So it's good for you to accept people who they are, and you get yourself right and stay in balance. You are good at reading the body language of people and reading people, You know what I'm saying? It's in your nature, but you might be phony when you try to go so hard to try to impress others, and you might go overboard because you want admiration, you want people to like you, but you also could be very manipulative, manipulate people to get what you want and things like that. You just got to accept that everyone ain't gonna like you. Once you accept that and be into your self love, and once you love yourself, then everything else will work out for you. But you're a strong individual. You got it in you. But also, you could be very dark and feel cold and feel lonely when you're not balanced and when you don't have no control of your night master that's in your consciousness. And you might have a constant need for a validation and or approval. And you might don't feel right about people who act like a leader, who express some of those Leo traits, like fun loving. You might not feel very comfortable with that. You might uh, feel ashamed, or you just don't like to affiliate with people like that. But once you learn that you got some of these same traits and you got that in you and bring that out of you, and you do what you're supposed to do, then you'll be right. You'll be able to accept everyone for who they are. And when you know that these people with the Leo traits can inspire you, can help you. So you got lit up in the fifth house in Leo. This right here will help you out. This will help you out, and you might feel ashamed or feel embarrassed with being like in the spotlight, or somebody putting you on the spot, or somebody put, you know, and but because you always want to look good in the spotlight, so you might be embarrassed by walking with your partner if they don't say the right words or they don't act right. They got to be like perfect light because you want to look good in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? So watch out for that. But on the low, you very wild. You got the wildness inside you, but you feel embarrassed about your partner. So once you learn to accept your partner for who they are and work with your partner and cooperate and don't care what nobody think about your relationship, you'll win. But also you got controlling ways, and once you get over that, you'll be good. But because when it comes to sex, you can attack it like an animal. You can go very animal, anything goes. You can go like, whoo, you're very creative. So those you want, you go for, or you can be scared to go for those you want at the same time. So either you can go for them, or you can be the type that's scared to go for those who you like. You might like dominant people, or you might dislike them. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways. You might like dominant people or dislike them because you don't went through it with dominant people. But you is very creative, and artistic. So using creative powers and creative skills will keep you in harmony and balance and everything else.